offensive rebound. Embiid! Clear some space on the wall, kids!
This is saying nothing.
Hey guys, Emmanuel here, and Joel Embiid just cannot seem to catch a break. So, the All-NBA team was announced this prior week, and unsurprisingly, it wasn't accurate. I didn't like some of the guys that made it on specific teams, and so I'm going to get into that, and I'm going to get into why I'm starting to believe that the media just does not like Joel Embiid in general. But first of all, let's jump into who made the team and which team. The first team All-NBA consisted of Devin Booker, Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, and Jason Tatum. The second team All-NBA consisted of Steph Curry, Ja Morant, DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant, and Joel Embiid. The third team All-NBA consisted of Trae Young, Chris Paul, Jimmy Butler, LeBron James, and Karl Anthony Towns. Now, my first issue is with the first team. In my opinion, Joel Embiid and Jason Tatum should switch spots. So Joel Embiid should be on a first team All-NBA and Jason Tatum should be on a second team All-NBA. No way, right, did Jason Tatum have a better season than Joel Embiid this year. Absolutely not. You cannot convince me otherwise. Joel Embiid was in the running for the MVP. He was the front runner for the MVP for the half of the season this year, the majority of the season this year. You cannot tell me that Jason Tatum had a better season than he did. And then secondly, Devin Booker should switch places with Stephen Curry on the first team. So the first team should now consist of Stephen Curry, Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, right? Because Devin Booker had a stellar year this year, but Devin Booker did not have a better season than Stephen Curry. I think Steph just had a better season this year. Again, Steph also at the very beginning of the season was in the running for MVP. And we saw in the playoffs that Devin Booker just isn't that guy. Devin Booker is not a 1. Devin Booker is more of a 1B or 2. And to me, that just proved it in the offseason. So those are my quarrels with the first team All-NBA. Now, the other problem I have is LeBron James. I think they did LeBron James really, really dirty. I think LeBron James and DeMar DeRozan should switch spots, right? So DeMar DeRozan is now going to go on to the third team All-NBA, and LeBron's going to be on a second team All-NBA. I think they did LeBron so dirty because LeBron had a better season than DeMar DeRozan did, right? LeBron dropped 2 50-point games this year, right, at age 37. Insane, right? And I understand that the Lakers didn't particularly have a great season, but LeBron individually had one of his best seasons. Like, it's hard, when you look at LeBron's stats this year, it's hard to believe that he's actually 37 for the numbers that he averaged, right? The points that he scored. LeBron James was neck and neck with Joel Embiid and Giannis Antetokounmpo for the scoring title. That's how good LeBron was this year. Individually, LeBron was amazing. Like, amazing, right? And that's why I say that he and DeMar DeRozan should switch spots. But the biggest, most egregious disrespect I've ever seen, right, was Joel Embiid. What they did to Joel Embiid, what the media did to Joel Embiid is absurd. Voting him onto the second team All-NBA was an absolute insult to him. How does a guy finish second in MVP voting and not be on the first team All-NBA? That does not make any logical sense. I want, like, if I could, I want to take the guys that voted, the media personalities that voted, and I want to interview them. What was your thought? What was your processing? How did you come to this conclusion? Like, you sat there, not for a day, for multiple days, and you came to this conclusion. What was going through your head? That's what I would like to ask all the guys that voted. Chris Broussard, right? I want to know, because to me, there are 2 possible reasons as to why this happened. Either they don't watch the NBA or they don't like it. Now, of course they watch the NBA because they're analysts. So the only other reasonable answer is they just don't like the guy. The crazy thing is, it's not a one-off thing. This happened last year, right? Exactly the same last year. Last year, Joel Embiid lost the MVP to Nikola Jokic, and he came in second in MVP voting. And then he was voted onto the second team All-NBA. What? And this year particularly was just terrible because, okay, Joel Embiid, prior to James Harden joining the 76ers, was the front runner for the MVP. Again, he was in a race with LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo for the scoring title. How does that happen? That's just blatant disrespect. And this leads me to think the media just doesn't like him very much. Because, like I said, the media is who votes these guys in, right? It's not even up to the fans. I think I would love if they would incorporate the fans into it a little bit, right? Like, at least let the fans vote or something, right? But the media has voting power. Guys like Chris Broussard have voting power. And by the way, the reason I'm even jumping to the conclusion that they don't like him is because when they didn't vote him the MVP this year and they gave it to Nikola Jokic, I was just like, okay, it was a little weird, right? Because normally that doesn't happen. Normally, you're not gonna, unless like the guy had a stellar season, like undisputed, like Steph Curry had in 2016 when he won unanimous MVP. You don't normally get a back-to-back MVP. And Nikola Jokic didn't have a unanimous type kind of season, right? So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll give it to them. Maybe they didn't vote for him because James Harden joined the 76ers. And from the media's perspective, it's hard to vote for a guy who just got a former MVP and former scoring champion on the team. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna give it to them. When I looked at the fact that Joel Embiid's numbers didn't go down and he was still playing at the level that he was prior to James Harden joining the team, it struck me that it just didn't make any sense because James Harden joining the 76ers shouldn't impact the first team All-NBA vote at all. Maybe it'll impact the MVP vote, not the All-NBA teams. But the voters still decided to snub him, not once, but twice. Not once, but twice, once, but twice, back-to-back years. And that's making me think, okay, yeah, no, that made me realize, okay, they just don't like him. They don't like him. But why might they not like him? I think they don't like him because he called them out, because he speaks out against the media, rightfully so, right? Because last year when they snubbed him, he made a remark about how he didn't agree with the MVP voting last year, and then he also called out the media again about how am I going to finish second in MVP voting, right? If you're gonna snub me at the MVP, at least give me All-NBA team, first All-NBA team, right? He did this last year. And when you go against the media, when you call out the media, they don't like that at all, right? Take Kyrie Irving for a second. I've used Kyrie Irving as an example before. Kyrie Irving has treated the media like complete garbage ever since being in the league. He calls the media pawns. Whenever they have a story that's legitimate, he dismisses and discredits them by saying the media is just creating stories for clicks. They want to interview him on a podium. He makes their lives harder. He doesn't answer questions easily. He's not. The problem I have is this. Joel Embiid had a right to call out the media. He felt slighted and disrespected, and his disrespect was valid. His reason to feel like he was disrespected was valid. No way you finish second in MVP voting and then not make the All-NBA team, right? And he had the right to call out the NBA media. But the NBA media doesn't care. They see it the same way. You don't come at us. You do not bite the hand that feeds you. And unfortunately, they are the hands that feed the NBA players, right? And he just kind of has to sit there and take it. He just kind of has to sit there and eat it. And I think it's very unfair what they did to Joel Embiid, that he just has to sit there and take it. The guy's playing some of his best basketball. He's in his prime, and do him some justice. Don't spite him. It's a hate, bitter relationship that he has with the media, and I think he's a good guy, and I think he's given the media a bunch of headlines, and he's given them a bunch of quotables, good quotes that they can post and all of that. I think he's been kind to the media enough, but he shouldn't have to beg the media to vote for him. I think his game should be doing the talking, but unfortunately that's not the case, and this is opening my eyes to the politics side of the NBA, and it is ugly, but this is what it is. In my opinion, Joel Embiid deserved to be on the first team All-NBA. No doubt. Should have been unanimous. But again, guys, those are just my thoughts. If you like these kind of videos about basketball, if you like my rants, then this is the channel for you. This has been League Talk. My name is Manuel Camia. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Leave a like for the algorithm so more NBA fans like you and I can find this video and watch it. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think of this whole Joel Embiid situation? Do you think the media hates him or not? Do you think I'm just crazy? Do you think I'm making this up? I want to hear it. Leave it in the comments below, and make sure to hit the subscribe button, and make sure to tune in next time. But until next time, kids.